So what makes me cranky about Central Intelligence? Having to endure several minutes of the bare, jiggling ass of a fat man singing and dancing in the shower, with the added horror of The Rock's face CGI'd onto him. And they didn't exactly get the guys who took 30 years off of Robert Downey Jr. for Captain America Civil War to do the CGI, so it's even more disturbing because it looks like The Rock's face is floating in the fat on his skull. This is the kind of thing that scars people for life, and I have no idea what compels a director to do this to innocent theatergoers. Especially as the trailers are able to cover this sequence without forcing us to endure all of that. And as you probably gathered from said trailer, the flab dance takes place a couple decades ago, when The Rock was your typical weird fat kid and Kevin Hart was the ultimate high school cool guy. He's the captain of like 3 sports teams, he's in the drama club, even the school principal likes him, and he's getting to make a speech because he's getting an award at the senior pep rally. He's clearly the most awesome kid you've ever seen. Meanwhile, the senior bullies are of course up to no good, and they drag the poor nerd out of the shower, toss him buck naked out in front of the senior pep rally, to his ultimate humiliation of course, and Hart's character is the only person to take pity on him. He gives him his jacket so that Fat Rock can cover his junk and escape, though obviously not with his dignity intact. I'm not sure why they had The Rock's face and Kevin Hart play their younger selves, because as I mentioned, that CGI is fucking horrifying. And on top of that, Kevin Hart may be a midget, but he sure as hell doesn't still look 18. Plus, a number of other characters have different actors for their older selves, so why not just go with younger actors for everyone? It'll get the same point across without all of the other stupid shit. It's not like the movie is trying to reinvent the wheel here. High school bullies are assholes, they humiliated a nerd who will go on to better himself and forever idolize that one guy who showed him the faintest hint of kindness that one time. We can do that without a CGI monstrosity, right? And since it's such a straightforward plot, it's no surprise that when we catch up with the present-day version of Kevin Hart's character, he's predictably miserable because he feels like the very definition of peaked in high school. He's got a shitty job where he's pestered by a crude douchebag, and he's just been passed over for a promotion. It's the perfect time for that fat kid in high school to show up looking like The Rock to drag him on a crazy, life-affirming adventure that leads to him becoming the man he really wants to be. Can't get a more by-the-numbers buddy cop movie plot, which of course means it lives or dies based almost entirely on the actors and their rapport. So how do Hart and The Rock stack up? Pretty good I guess. They have decent chemistry overall, and they certainly seem to be enjoying themselves, but their characters are just not that great, and the movie is so stupidly predictable that it kinda takes the fun out of it half the time. The Rock's character is just weird, and it seems like he's weird for weird's sake, like the flab monster at the beginning. He's like one part frat boy and one part brony, and sometimes it's really funny, but other times it's just plain creepy. Kevin Hart, on the other hand, is playing Kevin Hart. If you've seen his other movies or his stand-up shows, you know his shtick. It's clear that a lot of his part is just him improvising false bravado or just general histrionics. And again, when it's funny, it works, but so much of the time it's just dumb. And since he never seems to know when to quit, those bits actually start to get really irritating. The action stuff is really the only thing that stays good the whole time, but you've also seen it all before because, like the plot, it's incredibly standard stuff. I mean, The Rock obviously knows how to make a fight look good, but he's not exactly throwing down with Jason Statham like in the Fast and Furious movies. There isn't really much of a bad guy in the movie either, other than your usual head of a secret government agency trying to rein in her rogue employee shtick. That duty goes to Amy Ryan, who, like The Rock, is just kind of weird, but otherwise she plays it mostly straight. All in all, it's a mixed bag. Sometimes it's really funny, though unfortunately most of those times are in the trailers, as you might expect. The outtakes and the credits were pretty hilarious, though, but the rest of the time it's just predictable, strange, or outright irritating. So Central Intelligence does make me cranky, but it's that I have to attend a family function with my weird uncle when I'd rather stay home kind of cranky. If you like The Rock and or Kevin Hart, you'll probably enjoy it, but save your money and catch a matinee. But if you've seen Central Intelligence, feel free to express yourself in the comments section, or with the like button, or with the subscribe button. As a YouTube reviewer, I'm obligated to remind you those options exist at least once every other video. Otherwise the CIA will send me to Gitmo, and I'm not going back there again.